We are blessed to have the deep wisdom keeper here of Woman Stand Shining. And I just appreciate you so much, Pat. Love you. And I'm really grateful you came even when it's challenging to be walking in this part of the world when so much of you is in other parts. So thank you for being here. You're on. It's you. It's all you, hon.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Can you do that?
Yeah.
It's harder.
That's about it.
There you are. You're on TV. You're famous.
Well, good morning. I'm really grateful to be here, actually. Even at this kind of tender time, I go in and out of tenderness and I don't know, all kinds of states. I say I'm traveling in that ancient river that we all have to travel at some point. Right now, so it's a holy time. It's a liminal time, and so we'll see what happens. But I think what I'd like to start with is, well, one, I just express gratitude. Similar to you, I found my place here in Taos. I'm very grateful for this space in particular, and also just driving over here, just feeling my gratitude for the mountain, and the snow, and just like, sometimes you feel kind of humbly, Pat, but you had the good sense to come here and stay here. So good for you. I want to start out by singing, I think I'm going to sing a grandmother calling song. My mama, like I said, she lived to be 100. She outlived everybody. So I keep imagining this fantastic reunion going on. All her sisters and friends. My dad, all of his brothers. He had 11 siblings. Everybody. So just call them in. If my mom steps into a new place of her being matriarch and good ancestor. And as I also, I feel myself birthing into my matriarchy now. Ever deeper. So that's good. In the grandmother cleansing. Way higher, higher, way higher, way higher, I'm just witnessing them coming in from the four directions and feeling, I always see them come dancing in and they're in their full regalia from all different traditions, not even only from this continent, And I also felt them saying to me, "We thought you'd never ask." We're waiting for you to call us in. We want to be there with you. We want to be there with us. We want to be there with you. So I want to say what has been said to me, that that we come onto this earth walk life with spiritual help swarming all around us. So much assistance. So much assistance. Because this is a tough gig here. This is a dense situation. And so there's so much in the non-material world, I guess we could say. I don't know if we can really divide it, but that is here for us. And as this is a free will construct, we have to ask. We have to give consent. We have to say we are looking and asking for that assistance. So that's what I was feeling singing that song, as they were saying, "Man, we didn't know when you were going to ask. We've been waiting." So it feels really beautiful, really good. I sing the songs also because it helps me understand what to say. It's a way of knowing that is out of this noodle here that runs the show so much, And so the other thing that was coming up, I said I'm traveling that ancient river, and so I did see myself in this canoe. It's a long canoe. And there's 3 grandmothers sitting in front of me, and there's 3 behind me. So this is the 7 generations traveling together all the time. So, and I had a chance to be on a panel with Stephen Jenkinson, I think you know his work, and ferocious intellect going there. Almost bowled over, almost. But yeah, we were talking about that, and so in those kind of conversations lately, I've been saying, this word colonization is pretty nebulous. I think it might be good for us, a group of us, to sit down and kind of break it down a little bit. And what are we really talking about there? Because we think we know, but we don't know. Same as like the word economy and other words. And it's dangerous for us to go along with assumptions with those kinds of words. But I'll use it here and say, I would say with that movement that traveled over the earth, that I don't know, recently I've been hearing people name that, it came out of the Enlightenment era, where the intellect was exalted, let's say, and so you know, when those methodologies, and I say the way of the beginnings of the power over paradigm, I talk about that a lot. The power over paradigm, which I also call modern world paradigm, and it's quite dominant on this Mother Earth right now, superimposed upon her paradigm. And I say in that paradigm, you have to overpower another in order to have what you need. And if we notice, that's antithetical to Earth paradigm, not the way at all. But in any case, so that colonization way moved over and began to disrupt the way of the circle and began to wrest it into the form of the pyramid. And you know, in that process, one of the things that I'm now, I hadn't really thought about attributing it to that, but well, you know, in this power over paradigm, it's might makes right, it's dog eat dog, it's highly competitive, and so it drives us. It's antithetical to cooperation and collaboration. Also, the way of the paradigm of this Mother Earth, her way is highly collaborative, highly cooperative. And so it drives us into this sense of having to just take care of our own, and sometimes even just our own individual self. And so the understanding of traveling in that canoe with 7 generations is only a distant memory for some of us, you know. So I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not living my life in a vacuum. I'm not living my life just for my life. I'm living on everything that my ancestors did, said, felt, noticed, loved, imagined, prayed. And I can't be separate from all of that. Good news, bad news. And then everything I'm doing is traveling out to these future generations. I'm a part of their foundation. So in these days, I'm finding much more awareness of this understanding, you know, and my daughter has a song, let's see if I remember, Time Traveler. Look up Lila June, Time Traveler. But she's talking about the song. She says, the singer will die, but the song will live on. What kind of song? So we have songs that are millennia old. They are well-worn paths, trails that open up very specific ways of knowing in the human organism, in the human mental construct, emotional construct. I think they reflect our, you know, when we've been firing on all cylinders as a species, and we have, I think, at different times and in different places, especially. We contribute to a huge conversation going on between Earth and cosmos. And so at our pinnacle times, we've really brought to bear all of that's in our biology, all that's in our spirit, all that's in our feelings, all that's in our broad, very broad spectrum of ways of knowing, including the song, including the dance, including the prayer, including the fast, including the visioning. And we have participated in that conversation. We have participated in the furthering of what Earth wants to contribute to this creation. So when my daughter says, you know, the singer will die, but the song will live on, that's what kind of song I'm imagining. Those kinds of songs. So maybe those of us sitting here, we might not feel like we have that kind of song to sing here. What I'm going to say, I would ask you to support those who do have those songs to sing. They feel very, very crucial to holding open the space for the honor of being human being to travel forward into those next generations. They've been assaulted and scattered and oppressed and demeaned as primitive. But they are still here. So I do make a call out for us to support those who carry those kinds of songs in whatever way we can. And I remember, I've been thinking about this elder, Anishinaabe, Ogijida, he called himself, Tobasanakwe. And he talked about how, you know, that kind of song that carries that kind of, I'll say truth, the truth of possibility, the truth of our potential. He said, the nature of that truth is written in the stars, so you can always find it. But if you forget the stones, and maybe you can't, maybe the stones are going to be moved or destroyed or pulverized into gravel or who knows what. And so if you can't see it there, then you can see it in the water. And I feel like I'm still able to read it in our beautiful Rio Grande here. I go and spend a lot of time just sitting there and stare at the water, listen. But if you can't find it there, it's written here. So this is what I've been focusing on in the last months. The last time I came to speak here, I said that I had cleared my schedule and was just attending here because I felt myself being really split between the work I was doing out here, which is very satisfying and feels very meaningful. But then I found that every time I came back home, even to glorious Taos, I felt empty. I felt wrong. I felt something was not right. And I came to the conclusion that Spirit, Creator, intends so much love and care for me. Huge, huge love and care. And so I said, I just can't imagine that Spirit intends for me to live this way, with this split, with this hurt, with this, whatever this is when I'm just me with me. So I know that it's not on Spirit's side of the equation. That must mean it's on this side. So I want to know, what am I doing to hold out all that love and care? What am I not doing that I could be doing? I want to know. So I told Spirit, I really do want to receive all the love and care that you have for me. And I just can't help but feel that there's something holding it out. So, and it took, I tried slowing down. I tried taking, a few weeks off to investigate, but I found that my body just wasn't willing to tell me what was going on until I really cleared the decks, and my body felt like I had some spaciousness. Because it was like my body was saying, what's the point? You're just going to go right back out there and go right back at it. And so I took that radical move. And what I have found is every time I want to show myself radical self-love and radical self-care and radical self-trust, the Spirit comes to support that hugely. So I have been supported in all kinds of interesting ways during this time, in every way. And so what I have been working with is, there's all kinds of words. It's a big time on the planet for the word trauma and co-regulated nervous system and all of these things. But I don't think that's an accident at all, but that's arising collectively. I was with a healer, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, and he was telling me, the very first thing to appear in the embryo is the nervous system gets laid down first. So my exploration has been about letting my nervous system be the boss. And that took some work just to get there, to even notice my nervous system. Because my lifestyle was overriding my nervous system over and over and over again in just about every situation. So to come to feel like, what is happening there? It's like a fish trying to see it's in water, but eventually, through somatic experiencing, through some talk therapy, through EFT therapy, through different ways of trying to get in touch, like notice my somatics. I started having a sense of when my nervous system, because I realized my core, especially right here in the solar plexus, gets clenched. And so I started noticing when is, like, for the first time, I began to be able to feel when that part in my solar plexus would unclench. And it was a new feeling. It was a new feeling. And then it begins to expand up. Usually I feel it here. And then sometimes I'll start to feel it down the back side of me. But first I notice it here, all the way up into the throat, down to the belly. And then my spine also. So once I got a fix on what my nervous system is like when it's happy, when it feels spaciousness, when it feels peace, then I began to be able to notice what interrupts that. But before I talk a little bit about that, I'm going to say, one of the main things that is occurring to me, to really obey my nervous system asks for a very different life in many ways. And I don't know if this is like forever or just for now or what, but to really obey my, really commit to that peace in my nervous system is showing me so much about this world, about this life. And very much about that solitude and isolation of modern world paradigm, even in Taos. But what I really notice, and I'm finding so both devastating and just exquisite, is how sensitive a human being actually is. My gosh. So sensitive. So sensitive. The things that set the thought patterns in motion, the things that set the feelings in motion. To see these flowers arrive was Set a lot in motion. To feel the body loosening or tensing. I just have to declare it. We were born exquisitely sensitive and subtle beings. And you would not know it by looking around at this world. You just would never guess, would you? You would never guess by looking at what we call entertainment. You would never guess by looking at the foods that are most available. Music and lyrics. But what I want to notice too, and what I am noticing is how this nervous system responds to Earth, responds to the whole sacred hoop of life, where every form of life gets to have a seat. And we also, as human beings, get to have a seat on this sacred hoop. And we are so interrelated, so interdependent. Interbeing, Thich Nhat Hanh says. A single organism, I would say, at this point. So I say, every member of that sacred hoop has to uphold its part, or the integrity of the hoop begins to fail. So with the extinctions, the integrity of the hoop is beginning to fail. With the inhibiting of our fellow members on that sacred hoop of being able to enact their perfect design for thriving life, it's jeopardizing the integrity of that hoop. But what I have to notice also is shutting down this biology. I have to believe it's not going to allow me to uphold my part of the sacred hoop. That sensitivity, that subtlety is a huge part of my contribution as human being. Look at me, I'm hairless, I'm vulnerable, I'm dependent on everything. And there's something powerful. There's a powerful medicine that I offer to the whole, being this, that you offer to the whole, being as you are. And this nervous system, I need to find another word for it. This energy, this subtle perceiver is so miraculous and so powerful. So I feel, I said this is a dense situation. And so one thing that I've been being called to say is that, being spirit in material world is a serious school. It's a very serious. Well, I don't know if it has to be. I have to take it so serious, but it's a big school. Let's just say it's a deep school. And so I feel being led to hopefully maybe remind or offer this encouragement at this time that everything that we're so led to accomplish. I'm not even sure that's really the game of Earth, but let's say we want to accomplish something here. Lately, the spirits. Let's see if I can remember what they said to me. So if accomplishment isn't what's going on here, if merit isn't what's going on here, and yet there is still purpose, what then? They just never let up. I'm like, All right, I'll work on that. I'll walk with that. So I'm not so sure about achievement and merit, but let's say, we want to achieve something here. We want to bring light. We want to bring truth. We want to open up I want to throw off this power over paradigm. I don't know about you all, but I feel pretty certain I came here to bust some paradigm up. I want to be with this Mother Earth paradigm, and I have the biology and the body for it. I'm designed for it. She's designed for me. So I just say that everything that we achieve here in this dense situation, in this material earthwalk life, it's almost like it's compressed. It's like, and if we were to move it out of this material world into the spiritual world, into other dimensions, it would be gigantic. So I say, anybody who's here at this moment, I bow to you, because I believe I chose to be here now. This is not an easy time to be here. But something about my spirit said, I got something to bring here now. I think I can hold the course here now. And so I want to say that that's how I see each one of you sitting here. You're something about your spirit said, I can do this now. And part of what I think that this is just holding open. So things are being compressed. Oppositions are mounting. Authoritarianism is, I think it's running for its life, actually, which is why it's bearing down so hard right now. But whatever, again, 7 generations, I'm in the middle. I might not get to see the fruits of my labor in my generation. It does not mean that I am not contributing. But every movement of consciousness, every openness, every opening of the heart, every remembering of this magical, mysterious biology, every part of that work is holding the door open for humanity to squeeze through this dark, dense time into what comes next. So even if we're only making the smallest movements, I've been told, remind yourself, and remind us here, it's huge in other dimensions. We're helping things that we cannot understand. It all counts. It's all so valuable. It's all so precious. And I'll stop here by saying, I was at a meeting recently with folks who had just come back from meeting with the Kogi, the indigenous peoples of the Sierra Nevadas in Colombia. And they said, we have the list of what has to happen right now. So I'll name it here. They said, first of all, you have to make repayment. And I think for me, I hear a translation a little off there. Repayment is very transactional. I have to believe in their indigenous language, it's got a slightly different concept. But what they're talking about is the making of offerings, the acknowledgement of what is being given to us, the acknowledgement of how the earth is offering herself with all of our relatives to give us our life. Even if we're vegetarians, we're killing carrots, okay? We're taking lives. So there has to be an acknowledgement of that sacred relationship. It's a holy relationship. They said indigenous lands need to be sacred. Indigenous sites need to be returned to the stewardship of indigenous peoples. Sacred objects that are being held in museums have to be returned to the indigenous stewards so that they can enact those songs. They can enact that relationship between earth and cosmos as human beings. And then fourth, casually, stop extraction. So in this meeting, I was with 2 folks who have been working on trying to create a new status in the world of places that we all agree as human beings internationally have to be preserved. And they're looking at preserving the headwaters of the Amazon River in Peru. And what came up there was so interesting. So to dam them, to interfere with all the ways, I had this image when she was talking. She's one of my heroes. She's met with the Pope. She's met with the United Nations. She's led hundreds of women out of the rainforest to march, on their capital in Brazil. But when she was speaking about how those waters have to flow, I thought, that's our mama's nervous system. All those rivers, all those rivulets, all those streams. That's her nervous system. That's her consciousness. And she's looking to free up and let her nervous system relax and open to its full capacity again. So again, I say, I don't think it's any accident that this somatics and trauma and all this, the language and jargon can get tiresome, but what's behind it is powerful. It's powerful. So I have to acknowledge our sacred design for thriving life in this body. And I want to be able to really have radical self-love and radical self-trust, which means I have to tend to this. So that's what I wanted to say this evening.
Beautiful one. So awesome.
Is to damn them.
The Klamath River just got dammed after 100 years. It is flowing.
It's happening.
It is happening. It's a slow. That arc of justice, Martin Luther King said, it's long, but it just keeps going. I had a good day. I had a smile from someone kind. Call from a friend, sunrise to begin. I had a blue sky. It's big open wide horizon line. Someone who came just remembered they once did. I had a good day, 'cause I heard from both of my kids, I love you, Mom, even when we don't get along. I had a good day. I got to raise my voice in song, and everyone sang along. Good days happen more than not. I just need to notice. I just need to notice. Good things can happen on the spot. I just need to notice. Just need to notice. I had a good day. I had more than my daily bread, so I passed some around so some other soul could have some too. And I picked up some cans on the side of the road, and that felt pretty good. I sometimes do that all day long. And there were these two hawks, and they were circling so high, and I was so glad they had all that sky. They were having a good day.
So I'll have a good day. I'll have a good day. It was a pretty good day. I can have a good day. Even if I think it's not a good day, I can still have a good day. Good day. Yeah, good day, everybody. I wrote that when I was stuck on the side of the road and my car was broken down, but I was on tour, so I had my guitar, and it started out with, I hate West Texas. I'm like, that's not a very nice thing to say to Texas. I bet there's some very nice things here in Texas. So I started looking for them. And that's always a good reminder to myself that even if it's like rain, there's always something fun to do. Thank you, Pat. We're going to sing our love song up there. There are the words. Now there is love on earth, and it has begun with me. Now there is love on earth, love that was meant to be. With all our relations, loved ones all are we. Now I walk with my family in perfect harmony. Love has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in love eternally. Now there is love on earth, and it has begun with me. We are the light, the love, and the presence wherever we are. Love is. All is well. Keep it going. Keep the love circulating. Give it around. Give it to yourself. Give it to everybody else. Give it to the earth. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Pat. Mwah. Love you. Food upstairs. Have a joyous and beautiful day. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Love you, Betsy. Love you, Lucy. Love you, everybody.